Welcome in, everyone, to another session with the Second Chances. As always, we're going to start with some thank yous, which go out first to Critical Role for creating the wonderful world of Exandria that we play in, and also to a bunch of artists whose music we use in the campaign here. Reliquary Record, Dungeon Glitch, Critical Role, Hunter Rogertson, and Borislav Slavov, the musical director of Divinity Original Sin 2 and most recently Baldur's Gate 3. So last time, with the Second Chances, you all were on your way to Port Damali aboard your ship, the Pandering Breeze, sailing across the Lucidian Ocean, trying to get there, hopefully, in time to apprehend the man who was behind the kidnapping ring of Aeormatons, which seems to span the Menagerie Coast. Lots of things happened while you were out on the ocean. Including fighting some worshippers of Uk'otoa, riding skeleton sharks, rescuing ghosts from the bottom of the ocean, and Maeve and Zana becoming official. Now, when we ended the last session, we had just arrived to Port Damali, but we are going to do just a little bit of like some backpedaling, a little bit of retconning, so we can do a few more things on the ship just before you get there. And the first thing that's going to happen is following Roslyn and Hermia's training, Hermia wanted to seek out Corey again. So, Hermia, you probably find Corey down in her room.
I'm gonna assume that she's asleep. Probably, because it's late.
Probably after that ass whooping that you gave her, yeah.
So I'm gonna go into her room and kind of peer up, I'm crawled, I'm kneeling next to her in her bed, and I'm kind of poking her. I'm like, "Hey, Corey, are you awake?"
So
you
open your eyes, Corey. I don't know if how deep in sleep you are, but you turn and look, and Hermia's right there, just kneeling at the edge of your bed, staring at you and poking
Hermia,
you.
look, I'm sorry. I was trying to help you. If you didn't like it, I'm sorry. Please don't bully me. I'm sorry.
Corey. Oh, look, I came to apologize. And the reason why I was acting so mean and just not nice this is a secret. You can't tell anybody.
Okay, I won't, because I know you'll hurt me.
No, please stop. I just wanted to say, in truth, Corey, I'm kind of jealous of you.
Jealous of me? Why?
Because, Corey, you've come so far since when we started. You're amazing now, Corey. You can just fly around whenever you want. You, killed that one guy on that pirate ship all by yourself. You went all by yourself and, snuck over there and just fucking killed the dude. And me, I'm still who I was when I left home. I haven't really gotten... I'm not braver. Definitely not. Can't say I'm any smarter for it. But you, Corey, you're amazing.
Corey just kind of scoots up, sits up on the bed. Hermia, that's a really nice thing to say, and thank you. I know, I'm amazing. But look, take her hands. I want to help you as much as I can. I understand what it's like to have these doubts and, uncertainty and just, not believing in yourself, And sure, there may be a few things about you that are still the same, like before you left home, but that Hermia didn't travel the world. That Hermia didn't save all the people that we've been saving. Right? So, and I understand that, like, maybe it's not like you want progress for yourself and you want improvement, and that's great. Absolutely. But I think what I just want you to know, and I also get that, you may not believe me until you believe it yourself, but you've come far too. We all have. And as a fellow member of the Second Chances, I will not take this heresy and this blatant insult to my friend.
Aw.
Thanks, Corey. I know deep down you're right. It's just so much of the time I still feel like this dear little girl who's like bullied and picked on, and her parents think that she's garbage. I mean, remember the guy who stabbed me who was at the masquerade?
Yeah.
I couldn't even face him. Like, I pushed Roz into him to get away and hid the rest of the time because I was afraid I'd run into
Is
him.
that
And
why he had a black eye?
I think Roz punched him, which is great because he definitely deserves to be punched. But it should have been me punching him for stabbing me and for being a dick. But I was just so afraid that he'd see me and just only still see clumsy Hermia, you know, bumbling Hermia, can't even lift a sword.
Yeah, I get
I,
that.
I know that's all my parents are ever gonna see me as, no matter what I do.
Well, I think that, you know, I think we have a lot to do. Like, we have so much on our docket now. We're like booked and busy. But maybe it would do well to see what's going on back at home. Because, for me, I didn't start to feel better until we kind of took on those pirates. And as scary as that was to face them, it really did help me see kind of how far I've come. And maybe that'd be helpful for you. And the thing is, though, you're not gonna be alone because we'll be there with you if you want. And then we can show them, hey, Hermia's badass now. We'll beat you up.
Maria gives Corey like a big hug.
Hug back.
Thanks, Corey. I wish I could have met you growing up when I was in school. Might not have been so bad having a friend.
I wish I went to school.
No, you don't. It's terrible.
Oh, okay.
School
All right.
sucks.
So, Hermia, you eventually find your way back to your room, and with your passive perception, I will say that on your way back to your room, you notice Zana slipping into Maeve's room. Corey, unfortunately, with your 10, you do not notice this.
What the?
Son of a
Dang.
bitch.
Dang, Zana wasn't as sneaky as I thought she was.
Oh my.
She wasn't trying to be stealthy coming in, but it was still a 15 to catch it.
Fair enough.
So the night
Passive stealth.
passes without incident, and eventually the morning comes. Was there anything that anyone... Well, we'll say you all gather for breakfast in the morning, knowing that you're going to reach Port Damali by noon. So if you'd like to discuss your plans for when you get into the city, now would be the time to do so.
All right, we don't have much time to see if we can intercept that man.
I think Zana's plan was to go speak with the guards at the gate, right?
She
Sounds
nods.
right.
The other thing we could possibly do is have Leaf scry on him to see exactly where he's at.
You know, that's something we could have probably been doing the entire trip as I think about it.
Does he know him enough to scry? Like, would it...
He met him.
He did? Okay.
This one.
Oh, sorry. No, not him. It was
yeah,
the
that's
other
a
guy
different
that
one.
he
Yeah, I
met.
was gonna say,
So-
it's not Gareth. It's
yeah,
a different
so
unknown
Zana
guy.
says, I could sketch up a likeness of him, that's enough to at least make it easier,
Tempted.
right?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Indeed.
So she takes out a piece of paper and a small little stick of charcoal and begins to sketch out a portrait, which is actually very, very, very good. I don't think any of you knew that she has any artistic talent, but it's very lifelike for as quickly as it's done. And
You didn't tell us you
Oh.
could draw. That's really good.
you never
Thanks
asked.
for your perfection.
Should
What
I go
other
through
things-
like a list of talents and just see which ones you have and don't have?
Are you good with fishing?
I can fish.
You cook?
Underwater basket weaving.
I'll leave
That was
that one to
elective
you.
at school.
Well, until just the other day, she didn't know how to make healing potions.
I definitely don't know how to make healing potions.
I don't know how to do that either.
What's everyone's passive insight?
Garbage.
17.
15.
11.
Same,
16.
same, 17.
She passes the sketch over to you, Leaf.
Leaf looks at it and downloads it into its vast bank of art images.
What you see of it, a large, kind of like Hulk of a man. He's hunched over, covered in a bunch of heavy cloaks, but he's got a very broad face, kind of pot scarred and like marked and marred with a probably tough life, full of like, battle and stuff like that. There's some scars and whatnot. Definitely on like the older side. But it's at least enough to get you a little bit of a bonus on your scrying check.
Is this morning or nighttime?
Morning.
How far away are we from Port Damali?
Half a day. You'll get there in, well, even less than that. You'll get there in about a couple hours.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd probably this one. Would you like me to scry this one to scry right now, or should we wait until we're closer to the coast?
I don't think it hurts to know what we're going to be facing.
He'll either be
That's just-
in the city or he'll be out of the city. I don't know that we got ahead of him in the time it took, but if he's in the city, we'll know, and if he's out of the city, we can just hope that he hasn't been through it.
Maybe look for landmarks. Any strange things on his person that I can use locate object for.
This one will be perceptive and watching for it. Watching for anything unique or unusual. So I guess I'll cast Scry?
Yep. Could have swore. I know I made a stat block for this guy, but I can't find it now for some reason.
Uh-oh.
It's just like
You know
all
what
one.
that means is HP 0.
That must mean it's free.
Exactly.
All right. Well, when I find it, I am definitely oh, there it is. I am definitely adding 20 HP to his
Aw,
base.
it was just a joke.
That was a bad one.
Sorry. I just know the stupid retail joke, so I'm
Yep.
sorry for anybody
Hey.
that made cringe.
Those are not stupid. They're perfect when they're used ironically.
All right. What is the DC?
It is an 18.
Well, the good news is his wisdom is +2, and he is not proficient in it. And apparently, I did not give him magic resistance, which was a mistake on my part. So he's gonna need a 16
Is
or
it-
higher.
Why would he have a magic? It's just a dude, right?
You don't. A dude that apparently had a poison that almost killed Zana, and who she said knew what he was doing. So you're at least
Yep.
looking at someone who's as skilled as Zana is.
What race is he?
Zana says she's pretty sure he's human.
Yeah.
Appeared to be.
Listen, sometimes you just gotta give your enemies magic resistance. My brother learned he should have given his enemy Featherfall. So,
You set up the scrying ritual, and your mind is pulled out of the boat, up into the sky, and rushes towards Port Damali. And there's a quick flash. Because I'm not going to let you know if he's before or if he's after, but you do see him at the head of his cart, heading opposite the sun, because it's still early morning, so you know that he's heading west.
Okay.
But he is indeed out on the road somewhere. Make a perception check.
Okay. Should I channel Raz on this? 30.
I will say that off in the periphery, you can see that there is a forest to his north.
Oh, so he's left it?
You have to take what you
Is-
can from those details.
Okay. What's he look like? Does he have any?
Same sort of details that you got from the drawing, but like now that you like see him in person, like he's a big man. He's taking up all of the front seat of this cart, whereas normally like on the cart that all of you had, 2 people could fit up front. He's taking up all of it, and he's hunched over. His back, like the top of his hunch, is higher than the top of the cart, which is covered.
So he's probably like 8 feet tall?
Easily.
Okay.
I'll say with a 20, you also notice, because he's got his hands like up and like holding on to the reins of the horses. So his cloak has kind of fallen down to like where his elbows are. And you can see on both of his arms that there is, with a 30, there's like armor, like he's not wearing armor. He seems to have metal plates grafted into or in place of parts of his arm.
Oh. Do I see any weapons of some sort?
Do not see any weapons.
Is the cart like covered, or is it
Yes,
like
yep.
it's a covered wagon?
Covered wagon,
type
correct.
of thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I probably can't see anything within the wagon itself.
With a 30, I'd say that you can see sort of just behind him, just inside. And while it's difficult to make out details, you can tell that it's filled with something humanoid looking. Multiple.
Multiple humanoid looking. Is it moving?
Yes, he's traveling.
Oh, I mean, is the multiple
no.
bodies?
Just kind of jostling around a bit from the trip.
Okay. Can I see the ground that he is traveling on?
All right,
Does it seem like it's a
Sherlock
path?
Holmes.
Does it look like a path, or is it
It
off
is.
the
Yeah, no,
beaten path?
he's on a proper road.
Okay, that's all I'm asking.
I'm just teasing.
I
Thought you were
know.
talking about the mud composition.
Now, how
what
recently
color's
has it
the
rained?
mud?
Exactly.
Can you
What
give
was
me
the
a
question?
picture so I can use that one geocache on TikTok to pinpoint exactly where he is at?
Where in Exandria is this?
Dude, that dude freaks me out.
Katie
like
too.
that
Katie
guy.
hates it when I send her videos of him. How does he know? Tell me how he knows.
It's like impressive and terrifying.
Yeah, he's Batman. He could have been Batman, but he chose to do
Could've been
this
Batman.
instead.
I know, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
this one pops out of Scry. Its little arcane ley lines shift from the just a soft purple back into a normal green, and relays all that information back to the party.
Did you see any bodies of water?
Negatory.
So he's on the road. Just not sure what road.
Yeah, so I'll tell you that based on the timetable, depending on if he got any delays. You're basically hoping for delays because what
Yeah.
you were told when you left, it should have been pretty close. So if he got delays, he would be somewhere between Port Damali and the Gilded Roadway. If he didn't get any delays and made good time, he would be somewhere between Port Damali and the Tyoden Byway.
So
Yeah, we're basically hoping that he had to stop and like fail in for something.
Yeah.
was he gonna stop in Port Damali for any reason that we know of?
You're not sure. All you knew is when you found out about him, he was in Pheolin already. Because he has a connection to Gareth, your best guess was that he might be going to Port Damali. And based on the fact that he's stopped at Port Zune, Nicodranus, Pheolin, that he's probably stopping at all of the port cities along the coast to pick up any kidnappings, basically.
Any kidnappings.
Yeah.
But he's not gonna stay for like a day or two. He just meet his contact.
I guess you're not sure.
Not sure what
If
he's
Port
doing.
Damali is his final stop, is he going further than Port Damali? You don't know enough.
Okay. Well, let's assume that we can still find him.
Should this one go on a scouting mission and fly as far north as this one can go along the road?
Maybe when we get to Port Damali, we should
Having
maybe split up like that, but that's going to put us in danger if we do encounter him.
Zana speaks up. Having went up against him myself, if you want to send someone out scouting just to be able to locate him, I will volunteer strictly as reconnaissance only. Alone on a horse, I can go far and fast, and with a sending stone, I can let you know what I find.
I think it makes the most sense for us to just check with the guards and see if he's been by. If he's already left, then we'll need to go after him, but like if he hasn't been in yet, then we're okay.
We should also be able to get information from this Gareth person.
Yes. So I think that's our move.
Okay. Then we will make a next course of action once we've talked to the guard.
All right. So with that, you begin to prepare yourself as well as the horses, who are definitely looking forward to getting off of this fucking boat.
Yeah, I bet.
And within a few hours, you find yourself in Port Damali. As mentioned before, the port here is much bigger than it was both in Nicodranus and in Port Zune. It takes some time, even once you get close and you can see the city, before you are finally able to get up in the ports and eventually docked as well. The port fees here are also something that are a bit more than anticipated. So at first you're asked how long you will be staying. To which, if you wanted to talk a little bit to the captain, Captain Face would be like, well, what's the plan? You coming back? You want us to just, do our own thing?
Yeah, you guys are probably just good to go do your own thing after this. Where we're going next, I don't think unless you can take the boat up the river on the Menagerie Coast towards the Doral Woods, but I don't think it'll fit.
No, it's not as big as it looks on a map.
Then you guys are good to go do your own thing for a while. We'll let you know when we need you.
All right, so they anticipate probably being here for 2 days just to make repairs to the damage that was sustained during the trip. Damages, 20 gold to fix up, and then 2 days stay is another 20 gold. So if you want to take 40 gold to pay for that out of there. Yep. And I believe you've already paid your crew for like a month already, Leo.
Yes, I was going to give him additional like 200 out of my personal for the overtime and shit.
Okay.
I was gonna be good on that. Unless that's not enough, I'll give him whatever overtime.
No, I'll go and like find out, because I forget exactly what day it was that they like became your crew, and kind of let you know at what point they're no longer being paid. Although, if they're allowed to keep working, they would probably just take what you guys would owe them out of the profit that they'd be making anyway. So
whatever money they make, they can just take their money out of.
Okay.
Yeah.
They just have
And
to
if
send
there's
us the,
overtime,
send us the profits.
Yeah.
Well, they'll probably just
In
hold
fact,
the
for
profits
doing
until
such
you
a
come
good
and
job,
collect
you
them.
can take.
Yeah.
For doing such a good job, the crew can actually take double their wages for this month.
Damn.
I mean, if they earn
And
that
also
much,
this
maybe.
I'm fine with that.
And also this diamond. All right.
Not the
No.
diamond.
Don't give diamonds away. We have to buy
So,
Warhead.
as you are all getting ready to leave, you go down and you go to grab your stuff. Hermia, you go to grab your pack in your bag, and there are 2 identical packs in your room.
Princess?
The little flap flops open. You see 2 yellow eyes looking up at you.
You want to come with me and not stay on the ship?
She flops it back down and kind of jumps in front of your bag.
Okay, I'll bring you 2. I take both the bags.
Okay. All right. Hermia comes up
Cluster
wearing
is-
2 bags. Hermia, make a strength check for me.
Oh God, this will go over well.
Princess turned something smaller.
It's not too bad. What's my strength? 15.
Okay.
Juxta, you
That's
get
decent for
a
now.
inspiration from Dardic Druid.
Oh, thank you, Dardic.
Oh, druid to a druid. How fitting.
Druid.
Specifically, it says I will give Juxta a shirtless Catboy inspiration.
Even
Oh.
better.
Nice.
What color is the Catboy?
Fair. That's fair.
I mean,
Nope. Too late. Teasing.
I was going to. Never mind. If someone's going to do something, go ahead and do something.
Did she make the strength check?
She did, at least for now.
Okay, cool.
At least for now. So yeah, she comes up. You see Hermia with 2 backpacks. You can definitely tell that they're heavy, but yeah, no, that strength check is more than enough for now.
Good memories. I had my first attempted mugging here. Good times.
Oh.
You sure did. Yeah.
You attempted to mug someone here?
No, someone attempted to mug me.
Oh.
Luster bit his hand. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
This is also the first
All right,
time
so
that
keep an eye on your packs here. Got it.
it's a big city. I mean, I didn't know at the time. I had no idea. It was a little overwhelming, I will admit, but I'm a little more knowledgeable now. It's just big city stuff.
Roz gets a nostalgic look on her face. Ah, yes, I remember my first mugging.
Wait, did you do the mugging or were you almost mugged?
No, we were almost mugged. I killed him.
Oh, okay.
I
Well-
didn't do that, but that's a little overkill.
Yeah, that's
It
a
was.
little extreme.
It definitely was.
Um.
He stabbed Mira, and I was very upset about it.
Oh, mine didn't try
Well,
to stab
then
me.
he probably deserved it.
Yeah, he stabbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Uh,
stabbed first. It's only fair.
Luster had his first chicken wing here. Gave me a heart attack running away. So you're gonna stay next to me, right, Luster? We're not gonna go running away at the first chicken stand.
Make a perception check.
Is he already gone?
He's already making stampy feet.
I was gonna say we haven't oh sorry, I almost clicked performance. 28.
You see Luster, who is already down the gangplank on the dock, just looking back up at you, bouncing up and down.
He's ready to go.
He's ready to go. He wants to see Niles immediately. But we can't see Niles yet, we got things to do.
Does he want to see Niles or does he want to see the chicken?
Niles gave him a lot of chickens.
He just
so-
he just makes like a little sort of barking sound, we're wasting time. We have to go.
Okay,
Fair.
okay.
All right, we're going.
All right. So with that, you head out of the port and into Port Damali proper. Where is my? There it is. That's what I'm looking for. You head through the Larboard Light, massive harbor here. Again, goes much, much further beyond what you came to know in Nicodranus and Port Zune, even considering the fact that Nicodranus' port was technically separated into 2 different districts. The Larboard Light district basically forms the entire southern edge of the city. It's sort of an upscale dock region that is as lavish as you've seen a port thus far. Dozens of ships are constantly coming into and out of this port every single day, carrying goods and gold from all over the world. And you can tell just by looking around in some cases that some of the establishments here are even as high scale as they were in, like around the lavish chateau, the Opal district in Nicodranus. People who come here, if they have the money, could briefly live like king and queens if they'd wanted to, with all the amusements that any city has to offer without even leaving this district. You need to get up to the northern side of the city, which is
the opposite side.
Quite a walk. But it is going to take you through basically all of them, all of the districts. So I can give you a little bit of a rundown here really quickly. You also, from here, notice up close now the Skyship port, which is massive. And the closer you get, you have to crane your neck up and basically look like straight up at it. Just this massive, towering building with 4 large docks that shoot out on the northwest and south side of it. There's currently a Skyship on the east, and the west one, the Broomstone, still glowing and pumping out energy to keep them aloft into the air.
Roz looks very excited.
That
Haven't
is
been one of those
in the...
Is it this one?
We'll say yes. So that's in the Gilded Esplanade. Definitely the most extravagant locale within Port Damali. Each street lined with artists and performers, markets lush with expensive wares, high-end imports from around the world. Maeve eventually has to grab Luster and put him and hold him under her cloak, because even just the smell of all the different street and food vendors.
Almost lost him.
You also see multiple signs in advertisement for a local auction house as well. There's venues for reoccurring festivities. You see the Skyport. The Esplanade is basically known to be the sparkling locale that comes to mind whenever anybody talks about or mentions Port Damali. You eventually then find your way up into the Crescents, which is named in reference to the 7 large moon-shaped statues that were a gift from one of the noble families here when the city was first founded. This area has a bunch of affluent houses, competing guild families, well-connected nobles who, want to live near the politics of the cities. You also notice, as you're walking through here, the beautiful Pearl Shrine Temple to Avandra and the Sunfall Sanctuary to Palor reside in this area.
The temple to Avandra is in the rich person's neighborhood?
It is.
Interesting.
Maybe there's 2.
That then brings you up into the Crescents. You also notice, too, as you're going through here, not quite as noticeable as in, say, Venice, which is built on the water, but almost everywhere you've walked in both the Larboard Light, the Gilded Esplanade, and the Crescents, there are waterways along every walkway here in the city. The Bearded Alley is the center of sort of the general commerce and trade within Port Damali, named for the decorative cords that hang over each intersection, bearing all manner of streamers and dangling beads. There's businesses both young and old that mingle here, competing for the attention of anyone with coin. There's also many bards and performers that bring an air of lively irreverence to the bustling atmosphere here. And then finally, where most of you are probably feeling a bit more comfortable and at home, is the Tumble Downs. The majority of the citizens live here in cramped structures of varied shape and design, from clay domes to thatched huts to warped wooden shacks. The architecture resembles a mishmash of cultures from all over Exandria, which, along with the prism path, creates a pleasant patchwork atmosphere even in the more run-down region. You also notice a variety of temples, some of them a bit bigger, some of them maybe a bit more privately built, but still sort of public use, that are, just sort of small things scattered around that are dedicated to a variety of the pantheon here in Exandria. But it takes you probably, with all your rubbernecking that's happening, probably an hour, maybe an hour and a half, to finally get up to the northern side and up to the gates here near the Tumble Downs.
Question.
Yes.
It says 750 down here at the scale, and it says miles.
Oh.
Is that
There's no way
Accurate.
There's no
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
What?
this would be the size of a nation.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not
yeah,
dumb.
that can't
Should
be
that
right.
be feet?
Also, apparently those boats
It
are
can't
just
be-
forever long.
I was like, it can't be feet either because it's way too small if it's feet.
Yeah.
Inches.
You know, I feel like I recall when this came out reading a tweet where someone asked about that and them mentioning a misprint.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was potentially changed in the one on hold on, let me just go and check. I'm just curious myself now.
So I was thinking we're gonna have to get a fucking cart just to get to where we're
Yeah,
going.
I'm like,
I
never
know,
mind. It takes you more. It's gonna take you a little bit longer than
It's
than
gonna
an
take
hour,
you guys a
everybody.
month to cross. The,
Yeah,
cross the
that
city.
motherfucker's still in the city. You can see the forest in the city.
Meters? Kiona says meters.
Yards,
perhaps?
maybe.
I don't know what a malm.
Yeah,
A
well,
malm.
is a mile. I would
damn.
think maybe yards.
I think the one on D&D Beyond also says miles. So
I think
yeah.
yard is the only thing I can imagine like making sense.
Yeah. No, we'll just ignore
Just-
that for now.
Okay. Well, if it's okay, at some point I would like to ritually cast Commune with Nature.
Okay.
Do you want me to do that now or later?
We'll say that once you guys get up there, there's a toll house, like a guardhouse that's near the entrance, but you don't all necessarily need to go up to do the investigation here. So go ahead and pick 2 or 3 of you to go up to talk to the guards. The rest of you can sort of stay back with Leaf while he casts Commune with Nature.
Roz will go up and talk to the guards.
All right.
Spend that charisma.
Yes,
So
please.
Roz, Leo, and Zana will
Zana.
go with you. Yeah, Zana will go with you.
Am I babysitting? I'm just kidding. I'm not babysitting.
All right, Leaf, yes. So you go ahead and sit down and cast Commune with Nature. What
Okay,
would
so-
you like to know?
I'm going to ask the Wild Mother if there's any influence from other planes of existence, such as portals. Good thing to know within 3 miles.
Mhm.
And if there's any powerful celestial, fae, fiend, elementals, or undead in the area.
Oh, interesting.
Ooh, that's a
Limited to
good idea.
300 feet, not 300 miles.
What's this? Oh.
What?
Oh,
in the outdoors.
in the outdoors.
Oh,
still gives you
sorry.
knowledge
I was
within
looking at
3 miles
underneath
of you.
in caves
Oh,
and
yeah,
other
okay.
natural.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay. Spell gives
Yeah,
you
yeah,
knowledge
no.
of the land within 3 miles of you. Gotcha. Okay.
Oh, I get 3.
Hold on. I'm just taking.
Yeah, go ahead, I'm
or
sorry.
just reading here. Yeah. So what's your first question? Yeah. Well,
Is
yeah.
there
Because you get 3 facts. So what
Yeah.
facts would you like?
I would like to know if there's any influence from other planes of existence.
Okay. So it also says the spell doesn't function where nature has been replaced by construction, such as in dungeons and towns. Now, you guys are technically right up here, so you're on the edge of town. So, you want to know if there is any influence from other planes?
Yeah.
Roll a... You can do nature or religion check for me.
Nature or religion? I guess not sure. 13.
Okay. So as you are communing with nature, how does your commune with nature manifest your spell?
I feel like Leaf would its body would just slightly like melt into the ground a little bit, and then like
Grow like
vines
metallic
and ivy
roots
grows
into it.
Yeah, kind of grow into it as Leaf is sitting on the ground, and all of Leaf's like little metallic body is like kind of turns into a shade of green.
Okay. You all watch as from his hands and sort of a little way up his arms, as you ask, are there any portals around here. And there's no way to delineate between the type of portals that all of you are looking for and just any other portals that might be opened. But flowers begin to sort of grow and start to slightly bud on your arms that suggest to you that maybe there could be other planar influences near here, but it's hard to confirm. I would say that you probably get the idea that the concentration of civilization here is definitely is interfering with the communion. Yeah.
There is something though.
Okay.
Which I would also say too that you're smart enough to know that in a city this big, this is easily the biggest city on the coast, that of course there's probably fiends, demons, fae, who knows what, somewhere within here that have portals that lead back home in some way.
And are there any powerful of those around? For question number 2.
Make me another nature check.
Ooh, good roll.
Okay.
19.
With a 19, the flowers that are on your right side, which is facing off into, like, away from Port Damali, all wilt and fall away. The flowers on your left side, which is pointing in towards the city, begin to bloom more.
What was that question for?
If there was powerful celestial fae, fiends, undead, or elementals.
Does blooming mean yes, or does withering mean
yes?
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, you get the idea that within the city there are probably powerful non-humanoids.
Aha! Shit. I guess that's it. Because I already know terrain and bodies of water. I would like to know what prevalent plants are in the area.
What prevalent plants are in the area?
Yes.
Lots of tropical ones. All right, Rosalind and Leo.
I fucking knew it. I relayed that to Corey very excitedly.
There's a lot of tropical plants in the area. Heading up towards the gate. It's a lot busier here than it is in, again, even in Nicodranus. The longer you're here, it just stands out every passing second that this is like the Rexentrim of the Menagerie Coast. Nicodranus is like the Zadash. Still decently sized places, but pretty small in comparison. But unlike in Nicodranus, where, you know, occasionally there was a lot of people coming in, but there were also sort of like lulls in those coming in and those coming out. It's a constant flow of traffic in and out right here at the gate. And as you walk up towards where the guards are, they notice you, but they continue to basically just keep on sort of doing their jobs. And you're stuck in one of those moments where, like, you know, you're waiting for someone to help you because you have a question, but they're with another customer, and it doesn't seem like they're ever going to stop with that other customer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Roz will wait politely for a bit before she finally will speak up. Excuse me.
They kind of look over at you, like, giving you that acknowledgement again, kind of helping someone, and then finally, like, whistles up towards where the kind of the toll house is, and you watch as somebody else kind of sticks their heads out, and he just points down towards you and then kind of goes back to business. And eventually this younger kid, maybe like 18, 19, comes down. His Zalezo uniform is probably a little bit too big on him, but maybe he'll grow into it. He's like, sorry, can I help you?
Yes, we're on assignment from the guard in Nicodranus, investigating disappearing Aeormatons. We have reason to believe that the suspect has come through this city. We need to see if we can confirm if he has arrived yet, or if he's maybe still waiting.
Okay. And he's got like a deer stuck in the headlights look on him as he kind of like looks back towards the guy who called him down. Like he needs, to be told what to do here, but that guy's like completely ignoring him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, have you been watching the road here?
I mean, during my shifts, but there's he kind of motions. There's a lot of people that come in and out. Do you have?
Do they have to register before they can come in?
Yeah. If you have a name or a time frame.
He probably would have arrived within the last day or two if he is here already.
Okay.
I don't think we have a name on him though, right?
You do not.
No.
And
but we do have a picture.
We have a picture, and we described this massive mountain of a man.
Yeah, I was gonna say he could technically also be using another name as well.
Pseudonym, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we will describe. I feel like he probably does stand out appearance-wise, so we'll describe him.
So yeah, we'll say you give the picture as well, and you describe the carriage as well. Let's do a history check for this kid. Nope.
Wait, can we make him a second chance
5.
before he does that so he can channel us? No.
You wanna give him a tattoo?
Sure.
Hey, hold on.
Maeve's like, if anybody's getting a tattoo first, it's my darling boyfriend.
Never said that. If anything, I've been the one that's like, hold on.
Yeah, he rolled a 5 and has no modifiers. So he kind of looks at it. He goes, yeah, I feel like I would probably remember that guy. I don't though. Do you have do you know what he was carrying, like cargo wise?
Aeormatons.
Aeormatons.
Oh, that's unique.
Specific?
Yes.
I guess I can go look through the logs and see if anybody
That
came
would be excellent.
in with that. Okay,
That would be great.
It might take a minute.
That's fine.
Okay.
Roz just like glances over to Zana like, I don't usually do this. Is this okay?
What's your passive perception?
Garbage.
Okay. You don't see Zana.
Okay.
Did I see her leave?
What's your passive perception?
25.
No, you don't. She rolled an 18 plus like 12.
God damn it.
30.
She's not great at teamwork.
So
she's effective at what she does, Roz.
He heads back up into the toll house, and 30 seconds later, he comes back out with the logbook and hands it to you. Here you go.
As he comes back out 30 seconds later, I'm like, well, that didn't take very much time at all. I thought you said it was going to be a while.
You guys should probably just take the logbook and look through it yourself. Quickly.
Okay. She starts looking through it thinking like, this is a breach of privacy.
Like, go that way.
Got it. Do I detect something's wrong?
Insight check.
What's your passive?
Incite this kid.
No, she's actively trying to check if something's wrong now.
Yeah, make an insight check.
16.
I
plus 1. I got a plus 1.
19 plus
I would say that as you begin to start you notice that underneath his Zalezo cloak, you notice Zana's usual gear.
Got it. She nods.
God, why are we so dumb?
Wow, this kid's suddenly acting real out of character. And our changeling left? Where'd she go?
Raza nods. Well, thank you very much for all your assistance. And she turns and hurries off.
Yep.
Oh my God.
And you see as he just kind of walks off it in between some of the alleyways near there. All right, and then you meet up.
We find a quiet alleyway to start flipping through the logbook in.
Zana, meanwhile, shows back up about 5 minutes later, back with the rest of them. Go ahead and make. I'll say you can do it with advantage. You can decide which one of you two wants to do it. Make an investigation check.
Roz is a nice girl, but she's not a bright girl. Go ahead, Leo.
I'm +8, so.
Nice girl, not a break girl.
She is.
16 plus 8.
I am
We're
so
lucky
dumb.
that Roz can read.
24 total.
So 24 total. Okay. So the things that are written down in this logbook are names, where they're coming from, where they're potentially going, and cargo. I will say that with a 24 and given your background as a rogue, not all of those coming in or coming out have cargo. Some people are just visiting, in which case they don't even necessarily get written down. But you do notice there are two types of people that are written down in here that don't seem to be carrying cargo. Some of them are just here visiting, in which case there's nothing written in the cargo section. But some of them have these weird sort of like little pot marks and like hashes and like tallies and stuff like that. That you recognize as some sort of code, but you're not sure what it's code for. So I would like you, and again, with Roz there helping you, I'll give you advantage on this. Make either a insight or investigation.
But that,
either
but that
the two.
thieves can't to work, Leo.
Yep. It's not thieves' can itself, but it's just
Yeah.
it's some sort of code. But you can do investigation or insight.
Gosh, remember when innuendo was a skill you could learn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
15 plus 8, since my investigation is slightly better.
Okay. You can't get the exact meaning of it down, but the conclusion that you come to is that it represents some sort of given bribe, some sort of amount. So it's probably in there as a way to be like, this is how much money they gave us to not write down what it is that they're carrying.
Oh.
There is still quite a few things on here. We'll say that probably 5 or 6 of them kind of stand out as the time frame of when he may have came into or gone out of the city. And of those, 2 had a single driver. The names that you get... Oh, this is where it is. You get 2 names on there. One of them is Abel Cogmeyer. And another one of them is Cassius Jax.
Cassius Jack is definitely a bad guy.
Both of them seem to have been coming from the proper direction. One of them puts down... whoops, that's the wrong one. Back to my main map here real quick. One of them's coming from Oath, which is up near the Sirios Mountains, and the other one from Phelan. So basically, one came south into Port Damali, the other one came north into Port Damali. But outside of that, it doesn't give any other information on top of it.
Which one came south?
The Phelan one, Cassius Jax.
Okay, well, that would definitely seem like our best bet. How long ago was that?
Last night. Sometime after sundown.
And they would probably still be here. Unless they left early this morning.
Well, we
At this point,
scryed on him. He was already traveling again, so...
Did he look sweaty at all? With a 30?
In your scry? Yeah. Sorry,
He's been
actually, that would have
traveling a
been...
lot.
No, he would have came in the day before and left yesterday. evening, probably around noonish. So if it is him, he probably has a day and a half or less on you.
Is that for Cassius Jax? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who came from the south?
He came from the north going south. He came from Phelan.
North.
Actually, I'm sorry. That would technically only tell you when he came in, not when he left.
Yeah.
So it's still kind of hard to see if any of these are actually him or not.
The best you could do from this point is you could potentially, now that you know the time frame of when he entered, you could try to find the guards who were on duty at the time and ask them, as opposed to just like one guy like, hey, do you know if this person came through?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to have to do. So we'll go and return over there.
Head back.
Does
I'm gonna stash.
Zana
the
come join
fucking
us at some
book.
point? Yeah.
No, Zana had gone back with everyone else.
Yeah, then we'll have Leo stash the book and we'll go over and see if we can't investigate further.
Okay. As you get over there, you see the same kid being berated by what looks to be a superior officer of some sort. And as you get up, kind of looks over to you and goes, all of you again, you can go home for the day until we figure out what to do with you. And he kind of looks back at all of you, just a little embarrassed and also like confused, and then just kind of like slowly walks off a bit dejected.
That's rough, buddy.
What was it you needed that he wasn't able to help you with?
We're looking for a man, and I hold up the picture again. We're looking for this man.
All right, there's a lot of people looking for a lot of people in Port Damali. Why do I give a fuck?
We're trying to solve the Aeormaton problem that's been happening across the Menagerie Coast. So this man is directly responsible for kidnapping Aeormatons.
All right, well, that's the Aeormatons' problem, not mine. So good luck with it. And he goes
Actually,
to
the guard of
turn away.
Nicodranus who hired us to do this.
All right, well, then maybe they should have sent you with a bit more help. This isn't Nicodranus, though, is it?
We know the guards that would have been on duty when, or we know the time frame that he came through. If we could just speak with the guards who were on duty at that time, it would be very helpful.
Make a persuasion check.
Now we're
charisma to big use.
Now we're in Rosalind's ballpark. Ooh, nat 20.
Get on
29.
me.
Okay.
Oh.
Stops in his track and turns around. Is your first time in Damali?
She nods.
All right. Well, then, the one thing that you should know that's going to get you the farthest is that everything here runs on one thing, and it shines.
She looks at her shield. Can't have it.
He's talking about coin, Roz.
Roz knows.
Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
She's a nice girl, not a bright girl.
Yeah.
Nice girl, not a
No,
bright
it's
girl.
my shield. As Leo says that, he just kind of nods in his direction.
I toss him 20 gold.
Okay. He catches it. Make a persuasion check, Leo.
I got it, those two. 18 plus 10.
All right, what's the time frame that you need?
We'll give him the time frame that we read up.
Why did I close the window that I needed? All right, he thinks about it for a minute. All right, that would be Zarden and Arlenham. They're not on right now. Fuck.
We could come see them on their next shift.
Sure,
Or we can
that's fine.
find where
They'll
they
be
live.
here later tonight, just after sundown.
Very well. Thank you so much for your time.
Yep, so he gives you the names Jasmine, Zarden, and Gordon Arlenham.
Thank you.
All right, those of you back with Leaf, after having done his thing. After Leaf has finished and you're kind of just waiting, Zana shows back up.
Oh, you're back. Where are the others?
Working.
Okay.
I gave them a bit of a boost and then thought I would come back and wait here.
I see. And how did you help them on their journey?
She shrugs.
Very well. Do you think we made it in time?
You miss me.
What was that, Corey?
You can just say that you miss Maeve. It's totally fine.
She rolls her eyes at you.
Robbie?
Yes.
Is there a temple to the Wild Mother here?
You're not sure.
Son of a bitch.
But probably. As you were going through the city, obviously the Pearl Shrine and the Sun Sanctuary are like massive ones that really stand out. But you definitely saw a lot of iconography from for a lot of the different gods. So it's very possible that you could find a temple to Melora here somewhere.
Would I have known?
You don't
No,
know about any like massive ones again, like those two big shrines. But like, I mean, even just going through the tumble downs, there were a lot of places with the iconography that are sort of set up as like sort of public worship spots for a bunch of the different gods. So it would be easy to find one. It's just not going to be anything like big and official. Like this is the temple to the Wild Mother.
Fair enough.
Especially in, a place of civilization.
She's not exactly a town favorite, I don't think.
Well,
That was something you could have asked in your communion, though.
is
Should have
it?
asked.
Yeah, probably could have known. Hey, where around here is your closest temple or something like that? I would have allowed it.
Can I do that?
No. You asked about the tropical flowers.
So they're flowers. You just said tropical plants.
Oh my gosh. About 10 minutes later, Rosalind and Leo show back up.
So, any leads?
Yes, potentially. There is one. A man who supposedly came from Phelan and was coming from the right direction and gave a pretty hefty bribe to not have his cargo tracked. So that seems to be our best bet so far.
Sense.
The guards who saw him through are on shift just after sundown, so we should be able to question them this evening.
Okay. What time is it? It's midday?
Yes.
Yes.
If
It's probably
if
about
it
like
is him-
1-2-ish right now.
If it is him, in all likelihood, he's already left and has a lead on us. If it's not him, he probably will be arriving today or tomorrow at the latest, so we can have to probably keep someone posted at the gate here today.
Okay. Fair enough. Ugh. I'm hoping it's not him then. So otherwise we're gonna be rushing through. Oh. Callie's camera is not working. I was like, what is she doing? Okay. Well,
Yeah, Leo, if you want to try and catch up to the kid, make a perception check for me, see if you can find him.
18 plus 10.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you find him. He's just sort of... He's only about a block away. He's just like sitting down on like a broken bench that's kind of like lopsided to one side, just his head in his hands.
And I will pull out the book and I will pull out some coin and I will walk up to him and it's like, if you don't say anything and say you found this is yours. And it's like 50 gold.
Did you take this?
No,
Never
I
do such a
found
thing.
it.
Make a deception check.
Right, that's 12 plus.
I mean, to be fair, the bribery is a little suspicious.
6, so 18 total.
He kind of stands up and like uses his sleeve to like wipe his eyes. You can tell he was kind of crying.
Oh, poor guy.
He takes you by the shoulder of your shirt. You have to come with me. Bribing and a Zalezo of the law is against the law, and stealing is against the law. And
It's okay, kid.
He starts to try to like push you back towards the gate.
I resist, and I'm going to
stop. You have to come with me.
Kid, you are too stupid for your own good. And I dimension door away from him.
Okay.
Hey, kid, out of curiosity, did you once try to rob us overnight? Because I'm getting a lot of the same energy.
Guys, are trying to rob someone.
They have a dragon?
Yeah.
All right, and yeah, you just zoom away, leaving him there a bit dumbfounded. But with the log that he had lost and 50 gold.
The best we could for him.
He's doing better than he was before.
All right.
All right, so Leo, you are not allowed near the gate. Got it.
Yep.
Yep.
So
the kid's stupid.
Neither's Roz.
You know what? I wouldn't say the kid's stupid because he saw through your deception. You want to know what I would call this kid? He's got
way
Roz
too
energy.
self-righteous.
He's got
Yeah.
Roz energy.
He's got big Roz energy. He's a nice kid, not a bright kid.
Yep.
As is like, I used to be like that.
She definitely sees a little too much of herself in this
Yep.
kid, and is like, don't like that.
Like Leo comes back
Rich.
and explains what was done, and everyone else face palms, and Roz is like, "Oh, what a dummy!
What an idiot!"
Who would do that?
Ugh.
All right, so yeah, Leo shows back up, and y'all have until nightfall. That's about 6-ish hours. So you have 6 hours to kill. You know that Gareth is somewhere in the city as well. Obviously, you have means of contacting him if you wanted to set up a meet. Leaf could scry on him. Leaf, make a history check.
Historic check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ugh.
You have no idea where in the city he could be.
Leaf, do you want to try and contact the guy and set up a time to meet him so that we can, I don't know, whatever we end up having to do?
Punch his lights out.
Yeah, I could break his nose for you if you like.
Well, should we engage in deception first?
Then we can torture him.
Okay.
Oh, that's the line right there. You found it.
You found the line.
Ta-da!
I mean, he was interested in meeting up with you. It's just that.
Yeah, why don't we set up a time to meet, and we'll also happen to be there, but maybe quietly and out of sight.
That's a good
Some of us
idea.
more quietly than others.
Listen, I don't do anything quietly. I admit that is true.
Maybe we
That's
can
right.
actually throw a fireball on someone else and not take it for once.
That would be nice.
Man.
The dream,
Also-
huh?
Okay.
This one has
What
been
was that,
going
Corey?
over.
Okay. Off my back, Leo.
A long
Zana
time
says,
ago.
Zana was like, wait, what? He's referring to the Myriad ambush when we were going to Zadash.
All right, so
Oh.
maybe one time I made a bad choice.
What does it have to do
No,
with
I'm just
with
excited
Corey?
about being ambushing somebody instead of being the ambushee.
I know. Pretty nice.
Would be nice.
Corey,
If this,
could you make a... Hmm. When you make that comment, obviously referring to the time that you fireballed everyone, and then Zana starts to inquire, is that an incident you would want to hide from her?
That's right, because that was the werewolf, and she wasn't with us.
That was before
Yep.
Zana
Would I
was with us.
wanted to hide it from her? Not
Yeah.
necessarily.
Okay.
No.
All right then.
Do I incite anything?
No, she was inciting you, and I was just trying to decide if I wanted to have you like roll a deception or not. Because
Okay,
now she is
okay.
intrigued about why when, bringing up the fireball thing that you were like, get off my back, Roz, I'm sorry.
Why would she care?
Zana goes, so Zana, kind of looking at you, Corey, goes, what does that mean? Was there another fireball incident before I joined?
Listen, we were fighting a werewolf
Maybe,
one
maybe
time.
not.
It didn't go well.
No, particularly. I think I
Because
But
of
this
recall...
one did not die that
fireball?
time.
It was when we didn't quite understand how her cards worked, and apparently one of them was a surprise fireball. I recall Leo and I trying to get the lot of you out of,
I was unconscious before the fight
Oh,
even started. Roz
Christ,
pouts
I
out.
forgot all about
Oh, yeah,
that.
Leo and I had to scavenge a lot of you out.
Look, you guys, I don't know what happened neither, okay? It just happened and I'm sorry. I feel like I've made up for it.
I think
Recently.
so, yes.
Go
I think
ahead,
you
keep
have.
smiling, Zana. Go ahead.
She still has a bit of a confused look on her face. So you're saying that at any moment you could surprise fireball everyone?
It hasn't.
All the
Well, it happened
time.
again
It's just
once.
like when I cast magic.
She nods slowly.
Your magic has always been random.
Takes
it
a few
seems
steps
like.
back.
Well,
All right. So what's
Look,
the plan?
it's not as bad. I have it under control. Okay.
I believe you.
Leaf, how about you set up a meeting time, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do for then. Till then.
Sure. But first, this one was thinking about it may have a way to determine if our quarry has already left or not.
That would be great if you have a way to do that.
This one needs components. This one needs very sacrificial offerings appropriate to the wild
Oh
mother.
gosh.
What are you looking to do, Leaf?
Cast divination worth 25 gold pieces.
Is this something that you had already prepared for the day?
It is. I've had it prepared for like the last week, and I haven't had anything appropriate worth 25 gold pieces.
Okay, easy enough. I think for the wild mother, she's not gonna need anything like weird or like out of the ordinary. So I would say that
Some hyper fancy herbs.
yeah. So telling getting the party caught up in like what your plan is and what you need. You kind of head into the tumble downs here and find like a little sort of marketplace. And you're able to gather, like some vegetables and fruits and crops, and just like some general life-sustaining pieces of nature, essentially. 25 gold of that is a lot. So like a few of you are like carrying baskets of like produce and being like, Leaf, are you sure? And Leaf is just like, yep, this'll work.
Trust me on this. Trust
Can
this
we
one.
have a bonfire? I've always wanted to have a bonfire, guys. I've never had that experience.
That's fair. It's a little early for that, but
I mean, like
And
later.
tonight. Yeah, we could do
Yeah.
that.
probably if they'll let us.
Probably
in the
not
in-ground.
near the city.
I mean, there's plenty of beach. Like
Does the campfires we set up not count?
that.
Yeah,
That's
that-
kind of what I was
No, but,
thinking. Like,
yeah, but sit
Those are
around
little
fire, get some, drink
Bonfire.
and talk, and maybe someone has a guitar and they could play, and then we'll all be like, all right, shut up,
A bonfire.
I don't.
I mean, I guarantee you, if I try to play a guitar, you will tell me to shut up. But
I'm afraid Kalen's not here.
Oh, that's right. I should visit him in a dream.
Can't you use one of the sending stones to have him show up using his little spell?
Oh my gosh, we should have a
That
party,
is such an
and
awkward
then
request.
and
Can
then
you come
Zana,
play for us?
You could relate more to Kaylin.
All
You're
right.
fighting a civil
Hey.
war. Come entertain
Hey.
me.
Yeah, be like, hey, you like Maeve, I like Maeve.
hey, we don't-
Get to know each other.
Okay, relationship, private business. I'm gonna put that down.
See, that'd be so fun, you guys.
We don't need to have that.
Why don't you
happen.
invite what's her name, Corey?
She
Yeah, why don't you
can't
invite
Your
Faye?
little
teleport.
friend.
Yeah, but I can only see her in the dreams.
But then why don't you just cast Dream on all of us and we go visit her? Like all of the adventures and give her a grand adventure in her dreams.
No, it's it's just one date. It doesn't mean anything. It's not anything like serious.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
There's a
Sure.
lot
Leaf
of
is-
things that happened early on that you're like, that I was like, oh, what's that serious? You went, no, you're in love, Maeve. So I don't know.
Vengeance.
Yep.
Yeah, well,
Idle
I
Black.
control the dream, so nah.
There you
Okay.
Leaf is just during all of this just starts taking like the various like pumpkins and wheat stalks and just starts like opening up its crevice of its face and just like shoving them in and
Oof.
consuming the sacrificial offerings worth 25 GPs.
Yep. So you find your way to a small little shrine to Melora, and you set up all of the many baskets of fruit and vegetables around it, and cast your divination spell. And as you do, all of you watch as like 20 to 30 birds, as Leaf begins to glow, come out of seemingly nowhere, landing on these various baskets and just begin pecking at and eating the fruits and vegetables. What is your question, Leaf?
Okay. Oh, didn't that send? Okay, sorry. So my single question concerning a specific event or is, and I hold this one holds up the paper of the guy and says, will our quarry reach Port Damali in the next 7 days?
And as you ask this question, one of the birds, little blue jay, jumps and flutters from the basket and lands right on top of Leaf's head and looks down and kind of cocks its head to the side. And all the lot of you hear is a few tweets. But what you hear, Leaf, nope, he left yesterday.
Okay. I say, thank you, little one. And I pet its furry little chest and say, we are losing time as we speak, for he has already left.
Fuck.
Shit. Okay.
All right, well, let's pack up and go then.
Yeah. We need to
Now
find a
that we
cart.
have exhausted like
We can stay
800
for a
spells.
while.
All right.
Oh, if he's a day out, oh, how are we gonna catch him in time?
It's
Gonna have to travel further than
Yeah.
faster than he does. And
we're all just
go
gonna have to
after him.
go on horses and go. I don't think we can even use a cart.
it
We're
will
just gonna
be.
I wanted to buy a cart.
Look, he
When we
doesn't
get back.
know that we're coming after him, so he's not going to be traveling very fast. If he's only a day ahead of us, we could catch him. We could travel at twice his pace to be able to catch up to him. We don't have to leave right now if we want to gather more intelligence, such as meeting with Gareth.
Mm-hmm.
The other
But-
thing we could do
But at
is
the
get
very least, we should leave by tomorrow night, and then we could catch him within a day and a half.
That means we can't even do the fight pit.
Or go to any of the temples we wanted, or the library.
This one is sorry.
I do think
I
there's
mean, we-
value in waiting at least a day. We have the element of surprise on our side.
Okay.
But at least now we know we should not sit here waiting. Let's do our temple run and our fight club
Leaf,
run.
would you be able to use
Garrett.
that same spell again and ask where he's going?
I can for another 25 gold pieces, and there's a 25% chance that I get a random reading, and I don't know.
All right, so how long do you have to wait to try it again and not have it
Long
be
rest.
random?
Oh, a long rest.
So a
Ma-
day.
Magic's weird.
We could
Yeah,
just
just-
try again in the morning.
Yes.
Okay. So,
Do you think
I
Gareth
guess
knows where he's going?
That's a good point.
Possibly.
Most likely.
Could pay a visit to him tonight.
Can we scry on him
Should
to
we-
see, like, maybe what part of town he's in?
Well, he'll listen to Leaf to set up a meeting. If Leaf wants to use one of the sending stones.
This one can use a sending stone. How should this one approach it, as a friendly meeting, or this one is in distress and deception, or something else?
I think it's a sending message. Just keep it simple. Just say you are in Port Damali and you want to meet up.
Yeah. Which is true.
Should we meet in a seedy place or the high-end place?
I think he's gonna choose it if you ask.
Yeah, I think it's best that we pick the locale. So why don't we find a bar around here that works for us and we'll meet up there. Tell them that's where you'll be.
Okay. Is there a bar near here?
You want to find a bar here in the Tumble Downs?
Yeah.
Tumble Downs, yeah. Look for the Flounder Pounder.
You find a place called the Maroon Kettle.
Oh.
A white exterior building, slim, has a halfling scrimshaw hanging by the door. As you head inside, it's pretty derelict looking. It has kind of gaudy decor and furnishings, including what looks to be like a pampering massage station that advertises full-service grooming, but does not look like it has been cleaned ever. And there's a large, hairy, shirtless orc guy who's just kind of sitting over there in like the middle of a nap. Full-service grooming, 1 copper. In
This one
next to where it
thinks this
says
is
1
the best
copper,
place.
it says 2 silver, and that's scratched out. And next to that, it says 1 gold, and that's scratched out.
poor guy.
Well, this is probably the perfect place.
Ooh.
Does anyone want a full body massage?
Nope.
This one can pay.
I'm
good.
pass.
I've never wanted my body touched less my entire life.
Same.
Yeah, what a coincidence. Okay. So now, sending stone?
Sure. Leaf
Okay.
will take the sending stone
Here you
and
go.
hold it up to its head
You don't have to do that, but you know what? You do you.
and says out loud, "Greetings, Gareth. This one is in Port Damali. This one requests a meeting at the Iron Kettle in the Tumble Downs.
Maroon kettle.
Maroon Kettle. Maroon 5 Kettle."
All right, that's 25. You get back pretty quickly. It's good to hear from you, Leaf. Tumble Downs is a bit out of my way. Why don't you and your friends meet me for dinner at Tyodin's Crossing?
Oh, fuck. He knows we're here.
I don't know where time. This one. He said not at the kettle. He wants to meet at Tyodin's Crossing.
Do I know where that is?
Do we know what that is?
Make
at all?
a history check, Maeve.
Let's see if I know this. I didn't really go to the nice parts of town. 18. Not bad.
You
For a
didn't
plus
spend
1.
too much time there, but you did want to go looking around through the city, and Tyodin's Crossing does actually stand out in your mind, as you had noticed this like outdoor cafe that was surrounded by some of the waterways and like these magical fountains that like that shot water up into the air, like in the shapes of different things, like you might see in like Las Vegas and stuff like that. And you remember standing outside the gates of it, just like looking in wonder, and one of the attendants basically like coming up and being like, "Can I help you?" and blah 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 blah. You can't afford this place. Get out of here.
It's a fancy place.
It's a fancy
Yeah, it's a very
place.
fancy place. I had not nearly enough coin to even consider going inside, so it's certainly well to do. We'd probably be fine now going in.
Leaf begins putting on its top hat and putting on its dress in the middle of the walkway in the temple downs.
Looking sharp.
Oh boy. Roz would like to try to ask the Oracle a question.
Roll a D100. You need a 10 or lower.
I think I actually passed.
What'd you get?
What'd you get?
A 3.
Oh, nice! That was what I made the very first session. It was a 3.
How odd that you've used this ability twice, and it's been successful
I used it
both
before.
times.
I
Have
know.
I'll go ahead and say that
No,
me
no, we-
rolling low is not odd.
I mean, I guess that's
there was
fair.
a time we tried. I think Leaf tried and didn't
Yeah,
make
Leaf
it.
tried once.
I've tried
too.
before.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
My
So we
question
haven't
was
always succeeded.
completely awful, by the way.
To be fair, Hermia I think used divine intervention 5 times in campaign 1, and it worked 3 times.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good odds.
All right. So what do you ask the Oracle?
Are there any portals open in the region of Port Damali? Something else we can check on while we're here.
You don't get an answer in the way that you thought, but you are enveloped and just overcome by this feeling of deep relief that brings you to the conclusion that no, there are not.
Fair enough. Good news. I think I communed with the Oracle. There are no portals open in this region.
Okay.
So one thing we don't have to worry about.
Good. It's just too bad we won't have too much time here.
Although, Leaf turns to Corey. If we want to create a portal outside of
No.
meeting
No.
place,
No,
We're not doing that.
this one is just saying we could prove the Oracle wrong.
Well,
Why? We don't...
when I asked, it was still accurate.
Yeah, the answer would change.
The answer would become, yes, you dumbasses, you open it.
Exactly. Okay. What was that, Corey?
We could try it. Is my mic really low, guys?
Yeah, your mic's kind
whenever
of
you-
sucking.
Yeah, so whenever you don't talk for a while, the first like 3 seconds when you speak up are just real like distorted, and then you come
Yeah.
in clear.
Is this better?
Yeah,
Is this better?
yeah.
Yeah.
Again, once you start talking, then it's fine.
Okay.
So just talk forever.
It's like your
Okay.
mic goes to sleep
Yeah,
for some
yeah, it's
reason.
like wake it up or
Yeah.
something. It's weird.
I feel that.
Yeah, I feel it too.
Mood.
All right.
All right, well,
so,
if-
Oh, did you have
Fancy
something to-
dresses again?
No, this guy does not get to see me in my dress. Absolutely not.
For him, it's for us.
Whoever
And
wants to
also
dress
the-
up can dress up. But so that's tonight, right? So we have a
Yeah.
few hours. And so what's the plan? We're going to talk to Garrett, see if he can tell us anything.
I know what we can.
No, we can. And then tomorrow morning, go after, what's his name?
And we should be prepared.
Cassius?
We're going to want to go into this either somewhat subtly or with the intention that he's not walking out of it, because he cannot be allowed to warn our quarry that we're onto him.
did you mention to Maeve the name Cassius Jax?
Yeah, I would have
well, we
relayed all
would've
that
told it,
information.
yeah.
Maeve, given your extensive time in 2 different Cobalt Soul libraries,
Yeah.
Cassius Jax is a name that you recognize. It is the name of
Oh.
a famous Exandrian philosopher.
So when you
Hold your
okay,
bad
I guess
guy.
pretend you just told me that. She's gonna blink, very confused, and say, "That the philosopher?
Would I have known it was a philosopher?
Make a history check.
Okey-dokey.
Gathering that you mean to say that is definitely a pseudonym then?
Maybe.
I got. Where's my history? I'm trained in history. Where is it? 17?
Yeah, I'd say you recognize the name as well.
Is he dead?
Yeah, he's definitely dead.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
okay.
definitely dead. He's old. He's an old dude. Well, he's
So-
a dead old dude.
Why would he use as a pseudonym though? Like,
Probably just because most people wouldn't get it.
Does it
That's-
sounded
A
cool?
lot of criminals use like famous names as pseudonyms. It's just easier to remember.
really? You'd think that would be suspicious, but I guess if he bribed the guards. Oh, he bribed the guards.
Yeah.
Wait.
Like the city is very corrupt.
Wait, so Cassius Jack was Garrett?
No.
Cass Jack is the pseudonym of the guy we're chasing.
There's Gareth
Right.
there's Garrett who's in this city and might be a bit of a
Uh-huh.
mastermind-ish with it. It's not totally. And then there's this Cassius Jax, who's the one who's actually been in the Aeormatons and had poison Zana.
Big guy.
Big
Yeah.
dude. Well, if we have-
So here's the problem: is that definitely means we can't do any sort of divination on him besides like the picture. Like we can't scry to him or send him a sending stone because we don't know his real name. But
Well,
maybe
we
Garrett
tried
would
to him
tell us.
earlier.
Well, yeah, that's true by the picture. But if we wanted to send him a message for any reason, but
Zana
maybe Garrett's
says,
willing
"I
to
could-
tell us.
Probably send him a message having actually met him.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't know if we
I
want to
don't
do that
know
yet.
why we'd want to, yeah.
Yeah,
The
I
other
guess I was
thing we
just-
could do is dream into him with you, Zana.
Why?
That might make him like suspicious.
Yeah,
you
our
know?
best
Yeah,
ally is
that'd
that he
tip
doesn't
him
know
off
we're
pretty
coming
hard.
for him.
Why don't we all dream into him? Give him a
No.
beating like we did Shadow, and then problem solved.
I don't.
Problem
That isn't
solved,
problem
guys.
solved. He's still gonna wake up.
I don't.
No,
think-
Yeah.
if we kill him dead in there, it'll give him a bad day.
You don't die in dreams, though.
Let's not give him our faces.
All right, well,
Leaf
I'll
walks
see you all
over
for
to-
dinner then. I'm gonna go check out this temple to Avandra because I didn't know they had temples to Avandra.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna go to the Temple of the Raven Queen.
Oh wait, there's the blue. What is it called? What the guys with the teleportation circle?
Cobalt Soul. Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Is
you want
someone
to,
go in there?
I can go with you. I know.
Oh, and meet
someone.
your boyfriend there?
Not my boyfriend.
Port Damali boyfriend.
Oh.
Not my boyfriend.
Zana
Literally
goes,
just someone I met.
You have one here as well. That makes sense.
It makes sense because Maeve has traveled here.
Anna,
Yes.
I think I have enough on my hands trying to teach somebody that they're loved. I don't think I need another one right now. She's gonna wrap an arm around her and smile. I think I'm good right now.
She responds, "Is Kaylin having that much trouble?" She rolled a 3 insight.
Three. Wait, what?
She did not realize you were talking about her.
Oh, I
Oh,
thought she was
yeah.
making a joke. I was gonna say something.
Yeah, and it went over her head.
I love the idea of Zana being like, "Oh, is Kaylin all right?" Like genuinely concerned, like, "Oh my god."
All right, so Maeve and Corey are going to the Cobalt Soul. Hermia wants to
Yeah.
go to the Raven Queen Temple. Rosalind wants to go to the Pearl Shrine. Leo and Leaf.
We want to just secure our way out of here, so maybe go like secure horses if we're gonna
Okay.
just take horses, or get a cart if we're gonna take a cart. I don't know which way we're gonna go though.
If you need to go fast, you're not going to want a cart. So if you want to go and secure horses and basically be like, hey, we're going to come and pick them up sometime tomorrow.
I think
Easy
we
enough
only
to do.
need. Who needs horses? Because we have 3 horses. Roz has a steed. I have a steed.
I have a horse.
Yeah, that's
She-
1
she-
to 3.
She's counting. So that's 5. You could put Corey on somebody's and you're fine. And you have enough for everybody.
The other thing I was gonna ask you about is there a way that I could go to a magic shop and potentially get like a magic cart that like stows away?
Oh, ho, 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 ho. You want a magic cart, eh?
That
I
would be
mean-
helpful.
Make an investigation check for me.
use inspo for
It'd be like in midnight, our folding boat that we got.
Oh, we haven't used it
18
again.
plus 10.
Hadn't been on the water since.
I'm glad because I rolled a 6 on that other one.
Since we got our folding boat, we've been deep in a forest, in the mountains, across the plains, and now in a city.
You'll never come across another lake or ocean or body of water again.
It feels that way.
It does feel that way.
Well, you see, that's just like if you get something and now you don't need it ever again, that's like a good deterrent. So if you hate water, then that's what you needed to do.
It just sits in the key item inventory for now
You
on.
come across a shop called Fernando and Matthew's Menagerie of Marvelous Marvels.
That's a name.
What kind of name is that?
And brewery. It's also a brewery.
Oh, dope.
Marvelous Marvels and Brewery. I feel like the and Brewery is tacked on
Yeah,
because like a year ago, Fernando decided he also wanted to be a brewer.
Yeah.
Or it's like his brother or something. It's, yeah, sure.
Leaf, where are you going?
I was going with Leo.
With Leo. Okay, then Hermie
Where
and
is
Rosalind, you two are going with each other to hit each of the shrines. That way we
Yeah,
have two,
that's
two,
what I
and
was
two.
gonna ask.
All right.
Where's
Cool.
Donna going?
She's going with you, I thought.
Oh, I don't know. She'll
Zana
offer
is
it.
I ain't
going.
third wheeling this.
Zana.
Okay,
is,
never mind. Zanas can't go apparently.
Donna can choose.
Zana suggests that someone should go and scout out the cafe before they arrive.
All right, makes sense.
Okay.
I'll give her one of the paired sending stones in case she
Yep.
needs to get message to the group.
All right. So with that, being in the
Before she
tumble
leaves,
downs,
Roz puts her hands on Zana's shoulders and says,
she
someone
looks
tries
at
to poison you.
your hands
Don't
and then
let
looks at
them.
you weird. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you think I let him poison me?
Of course not. I would never suggest that. She gives her a firm pat on the shoulder.
God.
She nods and turns to leave.
Okay.
Chris, why is there a giant arrow measuring the distance across the map? Is that still up on your screen?
Not on my screen.
What
No.
giant arrow?
He was like using the measurement tool and it like never went away. Let me try and just do it.
Oh, yeah, you
no,
better
I see
refresh.
it.
It's not on my screen.
I see yards, no, and
penis.
penis.
Okay, now it's
So-
gone. God damn it.
Oh, the
you-
garden. Ha ha ha.
Oh, the garden looks like penis.
Yeah.
It does.
Wait,
Did
what?
I
The
make it go
garden?
away?
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
refresh it and it's gone.
All right. Fair enough.
Do you think I
Stop.
was just like holding an arrow for like this whole like time for like hours, just holding an arrow?
You might
I
have.
didn't know what, but every time someone draws on this map, I'm giving the next boss you fight temporary HP. It's up to 30 right now.
Why?
He doesn't stack. I'm kidding. Robbie's like, it does in my game. Does for my bosses. All right.
All right. Since you are in the tumble downs, asking around that the closest of the Pearl Shrine and the Raven Queen's Temple, the Raven Queen's Temple is closer. It's actually very close to where you are, and I'd say that you could probably even, once it's like pointed out to you, you realize that this tall black structure off in the background over in this area here is the temple to the Raven Queen here.
Once it's pointed out, we go, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, you're
actually.
both like,
that
yeah.
scans.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that scans. Okay.
And it's over near a graveyard as well.
Oh, great.
Oh, that's pleasant.
So you like nervous?
To talk to the I'm always nervous, like when I have to, like, I guess pray. Didn't do it much back home. It's like, how do you do that? Maeve showed me, and she said I was just like talking, but I always feel like I say too much, or like just say too little, or just say stupid stuff. Kind of like right now, where I'm just rambling.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess maybe I'm just nervous.
I mean, don't look at me. My dad used to make me pray every single day, and I hated it.
Ugh, that doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, no. My dad and my sister had somewhat opposing views on the divine, and I was usually caught in the middle of it.
I guess my family acknowledged it, but it was like more of like, oh, they only like really went to the temple because it made them look good, I don't think they ever actually believed anything.
So as you head over, you find in the far to the north, between the beaded alley and the tumble downs, is the Temple of the Ravens. It's a modest size for being dedicated to one of the prime deities, especially compared to some of the others that you've seen while going through the city. It sits stoic and isolated near a graveyard on the side of one of the prominent waterways leading into Port Damali. The windows are dark, unlit, as though no one's inside. You do see, though, a few groundskeepers among the gravestones out in the back. Do you approach Hermia?
What, the temple?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'd probably be bad if I just turned around and, like, walked away.
Like, never mind.
Never mind. I'm done.
So you walk up to the doors. Two massive, like 20-foot tall, 10-foot wide iron doors. Push on them. They creak open, and as you walk in, inside is pretty open. You see on the very, very far side this massive statue to the Raven Queen, all black stone of some type, the porcelain white, emotionless mask on it. On the windows, the walls in here, you notice other iconography, other scenes of some kind pertaining to the Raven Queen in some way or another. One of them, there's a faceless champion who's holding a silver sword up into the air. Black tendrils, spirits, energy, who knows, whirling around it, coming from off to the left, to the right, and above, cascading around like a vortex. But as you head in further, there's not a whole lot in here. It's all pretty, like, empty space. There are a few, like, pews up near where the statue of the Raven Queen is. There's also a massive, maybe 15 feet across, sort of curved plate. Not quite a bowl, but, you know, anything that went in it, if you were to pour water, wouldn't come out, or wouldn't come off the sides or anything, but just this massive curved structure with multiple daggers hanging from it at 3 different sides of it. But as you walk through... Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good.
Okay, as you walk through, your footsteps echo throughout the hall. Roz's armor in particular, you are acutely aware, Roz, of just how loud your armor is, even as mithril, and you know, quieter as it is in here, it echoes.
It's so quiet. Kind of unnerving. Like, somewhere in, like, the shadows, there's somebody, like, just staring at us, and we wouldn't know.
The shadows
like
are
Ryan's
always
drum.
staring, my child, and both
What?
you are probably a little, like, startled as this voice just, like, comes from the corner. and you
Hermia,
turn...
like, is almost, like, climbing on top of Ross. Like, just, like, what the hell?
Hermia's screams
Roz catches her.
echoes throughout this place, and you look over just about 15 feet to the side of, like, this massive offering plate that's kind of set up there with these daggers. You see that there is an attendant, a cleric to the Raven Queen. Female from the sound of the voice, clad in black robes. If you've ever spent any time, Rosalind, at home with Levix at the Temple of the
she has.
Matron of Ravens, it's odd that they wear very similar garb here. Black robes with a white veil over their face that hides their identity. You can't tell anything about this individual
In
except that they're
Raza's
probably
head, she
female.
hears Hermia ask in, like, a shaky voice. She's like, do you think under the veil, like, they don't have faces? Is that why they wear it?
Roz thinks back. Quite sure that they have faces.
You hear, almost echoing Roz, we have faces under these.
What the hell?
It's a
How-
common question to be asked. I thought we'd
How
get
did
it out
you
of
do
the way.
that? How did you talk inside our head?
No, you don't. She says this out loud.
Oh,
Yeah.
we weren't thinking or discussing anything like that because that would be really rude.
It's one of the first questions that most people ponder.
Oh, right. Hi.
Hello?
I am Hermia. Uh, question for you. We
She
were out
stands
at
up
sea,
and starts to walk
and
towards you.
oh, wait, she wasn't right in front of us.
No, she was like across the room.
Question for you. We were out at sea. We found a lost spirit that couldn't move on, and we retrieved a personal item of theirs. She holds out. Was it a dolphin locket?
Yep.
Yeah. All the spirit told us was to bring it to land. Is there any way to make sure that she got where she needed to go?
She comes up towards you now and she holds her hand out.
I give her the locket.
Takes it from you and you see her kind of examining it. I'd say at this point now, being a little bit closer to the statue, you see that down around the feet there is a menagerie, just this massive collection of trinkets and like little doodads, necklaces, rings, lockets, pictures of people. You see small dolls, some children's toys. And she kind of examines the locket and begins to walk over towards them. When the Raven Queen slew the last god of death and struck his name from existence, she gave up everything that she knew, everything she was to ascend. Some believe that unlike most of the other pantheon, that she takes no offerings. That's true in a sense. There's no need for monetary values in the place between life and death. But memories mean something. And often people will come to leave memories in honor of those that she no longer has. And you watch as she places the necklace down among the rest. If there is a spirit tied to this, then the Raven Queen will make sure that she finds where she needs to go.
Good.
Was that all that it has brought you here?
Second question. Hermia summons Fulmir into her hand. This sword carries souls, but we have no idea how to empty them.
She comes back over towards you. I sense there was more to you. She reaches out and kind of runs her hands across Fulmir. This is a great vestige that has chosen you, child.
Yeah.
struggle
I
with
found
it.
him.
Don't you?
What was that?
You struggle with it, don't you?
Oh, yeah, because people tell me I'm not, but I'm kind of a loser back home. No, I am a loser back home. There you go. Said it.
One of the great vestiges, such as this, would choose no loser.
That's what he says.
But the path of mortals who walk with the Raven Queen is not an easy one. What is your intention with this weapon, with this blade?
I mean, to help people, to save people,
Why?
to protect my friends.
You could do that with any weapon.
I guess, before I found Fulmir, I wasn't very good at anything. Couldn't cast any spells. wasn't strong enough to lift any type of sword, any weapon. I was lost and alone and scared and trying to find my twin brother, and then I found it. Don't really know what compelled me to, pull a random sword out of the ground, but suddenly I wasn't alone anymore. And I found myself able to do things that I didn't think were possible for me. I suppose it's become a part of me, or maybe like I'd almost call it like family almost now.
Do you believe in fate, child?
hmm I mean, I was raised to believe it, but kind of when I left home, I kind of went against fate. I was fated to be married. Didn't
No,
like that, so I left.
no. What mortals choose for others is not fate. Most common folk don't know that besides the in-between for the Raven Queen, she's not just a god of death. She's the god of fate. And while some may think that fate is an inevitability, that the idea means that you're going to end up where you end up no matter what you do, that's not quite true either. Fate is a weave. It is a collection of threads that span out like a web, that branches with every choice that we make, wherever it is that you end up. You end up there because of choices that you make, and because that is where you were meant to end up. Picking up this sword was no accident. Finding your companions, she looks to Rosalind, noting Radiant Sister. That was no accident. You don't have this sword simply to protect your friends or to save people. Anyone can do those. What you have embarked on with this vestige of divergence is no simple errand or quest. It is a path that will lead you to a difficult and hard life. One that will likely take you far away from family and potentially friends as well.
So I'd have to go on this quest to help Boromir?
You could help the sword. I don't know what those answers are and how to release what it has inside, but to truly accept the path that has been given to you by this vestige and, by extension, the Raven Queen, it is a commitment beyond that.
Okay. So what do I do?
You can sense that behind this veil, her eyes are locked with your own. You feel as though she's like looking through you. It's not a question anyone can answer for you. But know to become a champion of the Raven Queen is to choose a path that you will eventually walk alone. She reaches out and puts a hand on your shoulder. The question isn't whether or not you have the strength for it. The vestige would not have chosen you if you didn't. The question is whether or not that is something that you want. She removes her hand. Thank you for visiting today. And she turns and returns to her seat.
She leaves.
She walks over about 30 feet away from you and sits back down.
Uh, uh, so, Hermia's gonna, turn to Roz and says, well, I came here, last time well, actually, the 2 other times I've been to a thing, you kind of, like, do this thing where you have to cut your hand open and bleed into that bowl over there. But I also feel like my legs can't move because I feel, like, completely, like, shook after that whole thing. Can you just, like, pull me towards the bowl?
Roz reaches out and just like puts her hands on Hermia's like waist and just like picks her up and carries her over towards the bowl and sets her down.
Oh, that works too? Oh, wow. Is it hot in here? Or is no, it's
It's actually
cold. What am I
pretty
saying?
chilly in here, yeah.
Yeah, a little press.
She's feeling pretty warm.
I'll tell you, she might feel a little warmer now.
Yeah, maybe.
Roz a big,
Okay.
strong lady.
Well, last time I used my one of my daggers, but Maeve said that wasn't good because they're kind of like not very sharp, and it took like a lot to cut. Can you just cut my hand, please?
Roz will produce the one of her daggers and just hand it to Hermia. I think this is something that has to be willingly given. You should do the cut.
Okay. Hermia will do it.
Yep. So you
Kind of grimacing.
cut yourself, you take 1 point of damage. Squeeze
Ow.
some of the blood into the offering bowl, and you watch as it traces down the inlaid pattern. Faster than it should. There's just like a slight curve to this, but it runs even almost faster than water, like it is being drawn to the center. And as it gets there, it just slowly vanishes into... There's no drain or anything, but it hits the center, keeps going down until it's gone. And Hermia, you get what I can only describe as a premonition. It's not anything you see. It's not a vision like the others were. It's more like recalling a memory. And you see this massive black cathedral, as though made out of obsidian, that stretches impossibly high into the sky. Huge double doors in front of it. Several attendants just outside, dressed the same as the one here. And you watch as they open these 2 grand doors for someone who's ascending the steps. An Eladrin. A man. With ice blue hair and skin like snow. And he turns and he looks up as though he's looking at you before he walks into the cathedral.
Wow. It was weird. It wasn't like a vision. It's kind of like I was remembering something, but like wasn't my memory.
Oh,
Weird. I saw my brother. He looked
Leander?
more winter than I last saw him.
Does he change with the seasons, or like you, does it kind of based on how he feels?
It's based on what he feels, but we all have like our dominant season that is chosen when we become of age. It always surprised me that he chose winter because he's so bright, brilliant, just like a beacon almost. You can't help but just smile and just feel safe when he's around. Towards the end when he left, he kind of, I guess, became more, I guess, serious. Kind of reminds me of, she gestures up to like the statue of the Raven Queen, specifically at the mask. You get in these moods where like it's like he was made out of stone almost. You couldn't
Yeah.
really tell what was going on anymore. But
Hmm.
occasionally I'd still get him to laugh and smile sometimes. But he was so solemn when he left.
Roz thinks
But
about that for a moment.
he was at that temple, big one in
Vasselheim.
Vasselheim.
Well, Hermia is a fall Eldrin, right?
Yeah.
Summer.
Or summer. She's
Summer.
summer.
Okay. So Roz nods. Yeah, my mom was a summer Eldrin. But I always liked her winter form because while it did, represent many of the things that winter does, winter can also be home and hearth and shielding against the storm. There are many comforts of winter, that almost static, unchanging peacefulness of winter. So there are good elements to both.
Do you know why I chose summer? It's kind of silly,
sure.
really. Hermia pulls out a book from one of her 2 packs, and it's well worn. You can't even like tell like exactly what the title is because it's been opened and shut, and like the pages are all rubbed. This book actually, my favorite growing up, is about this fiery. They call her the Fiery Red Warrior. Kind of corny now, but I used to read these books and imagine that it was me going on these crazy adventures to be just like this chick. I think her name was Ella Fairmont or something like that. I wanted to be brave and strong and courageous like her, so I kind of picked a season, kind of like hair color, eye color, like what I imagined her to look like. Thought maybe if I looked the part, I could feel it too, but didn't work that way.
Roz kind of chuckles. Yeah, I know that feeling. I think you did, you would make a marvelous addition to Ella's story. She looked down at Radiant Sister. Radiant Sister was the name of the sword of the heroine in my favorite book series growing up, so maybe we're not so different.
Funny. Yeah, my parents hated me reading these stories. Technically, this is like a kid's story. They always used to give me grief for reading, bedtime stories.
Roz digs into her pack and pulls out a well-loved book that has clearly been read through many, many times. And yeah, it's kind of like a young adult novel about a woman knight, and she hands it to Hermia. Here. It's not the first one in the series, but it's my favorite book in the series. You can tell me what you think.
Rosalind, did you meet Maeve's bard friends, the troupe?
Yep.
Okay.
She noted that the names were the same. She thought that was interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, that was an accident.
So yeah, Hermia, you noticed that on the cover, the likeness bears a striking resemblance to Wisteria, the dragonborn that Maeve introduced everyone to back in Trostenwald.
Hermia kind of smiles at it. It's only fair if you read mine then.
Okay.
She passes Roz the book.
All right, as the two of
can't tell you what the title is anymore. I had to kind of like hide like when I was reading it because my parents would always yell at me, try to take it. So that's why the cover looked so weird.
Oh, give me a chance to brush up on my Elvish.
All right, so as you exchange books and leave the Temple of the Raven Queen, begin to make your way across town to the Pearl Shrine, we'll cut over to Maeve and Corey, who are heading into the Crescents to the Cobalt Soul Library. The
Now,
library.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead, please. Go ahead. If you want
Oh, I
to
was
be
just
like,
going to say
chatting or
to
anything.
Core. Yeah, all I was just going to say to Core is that I don't know if we're really going to have access to those teleportation devices, but I can at least show you the Cobalt Soul Library.
So the library
there?
here.
Oh, we just
sorry.
heard you now.
Wait,
Yeah.
why wouldn't they let us use their portal circles? Whatever.
They're pretty selective in who gets to use them.
Oh, so this is kind of like a networking kind of mission.
Probably.
Okay.
We'll just see what we can find.
Okay. Well, what are you looking for?
Oh, well, I do want to see if Niles is still around, but I have some things I was going to check
Luster
out.
Another
comes
boyfriend?
out from underneath the cloak and like around
Yeah.
Maeve's shoulders and holds his paws up to his face like he's wearing glasses.
Yes.
Oh, big nerd.
Halfling with large spectacles, yes. Thanks for the pantomime.
Oh,
Not my boyfriend.
not yet.
Let's not go there. She's just kind of like, oh my god. I can have friends. They don't have to be romantic partners. Not everyone I meet has to be that way.
Oh my god, you didn't give me all the details. How did it happen? Was it her? Was it you?
What?
I bet it was her.
What are you talking about?
Oh my god, Star.
Vizana?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, did she
Good.
finally just cry and be like, "Oh, I love you so much, babe. I can't hold it in any longer. Woe is me."
Nothing so dramatic, I assure you. I just asked her if she was interested, and she had some things to work through, and then she said yes. Like I said, it's not always very dramatic, I'm afraid.
That's it. No details. Did she blush? Did she freak out and change anything?
No changing. Freak out. She's like, she's like, should I even answer that question? I don't know. What do you constitute as freaking out for Zana?
I turn into Zana. Here, let me give my best shot. And just like put my hand to my forehead like a spoon. Really? Me, Maeve? Out of all of your lovers, you choose me?
Oh my god. Goddess preserve
Like
me.
that? Did she do that?
No, she did not do that. I mean,
Let's roll to
yes,
see if Zana
they're
hears from across the city.
not that perceptive. Ah. No, nothing quite so dramatic. Just, there's obviously these sorts of things can be difficult, and we've talked through it.
Mm.
I'm certain it will not be the last time we have to talk through it, but she's willing to give it a shot, and so am I. So we're just gonna see how it goes.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Not so dramatic.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Just let me know when y'all want to set up a date, dream thing,
A dream date. Well, that is
Yep.
very kind of you. I suppose if we can't find it in real life, we'll come to you. But I do appreciate what you have been willing to do with your dream spell. It's been helpful. Last with my sister was a little frustrating, but it was necessary, so thank you.
Luster lets out a annoyed huff.
What, buddy? Are you left out?
No,
You
when
want
you
a dream too?
when you mention your sister, he's like,
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she scratches under her chin. I know, buddy. I know. Complicated feelings. He's got complicated feelings about my sister.
Do we have to fight her in a dream too and
Oh.
vanquish her from
he,
this
sh-
realm?
he shakes his head yes.
Start.
I'll tell the others.
No, nothing. This is not like Shadow. He just, she kind of groans a bit. She knew him when he was a wolf who couldn't really hunt or even run at first. And she always
Bud.
thought that I shouldn't be taking care of a wolf with such a
Luster takes off
deficit.
flying ahead of you
buddy.
and dive
Yeah.
bombs down towards a meat vendor and plucks something off of one of the things. The guy's like, "Hey, what is that?" And brings it back over and lands on your shoulder and like hands you like half of a turkey and looks at it
Thanks.
proudly.
Thanks, buddy. Yes, you in this form, you are very effective and very good at protecting me.
Guy comes running up. "Hey, that's 5 silver. You can't just have your that little Drake thing taking people's food."
Sorry, sir. He really loves your food, and she'll throw him 5 silver.
Okay, he takes it, grumbling, and goes back.
Lester, you have to ask first. These people do deserve a money and a living wage.
He starts munching.
Okay.
Not all of them.
But yeah, so it's just a little some awkwardness there, but yeah, I don't really know what my sister's up to. She's not happy that I'm doing this, which too bad. But she's also following us, but I don't know how yet.
Oh. Well, that's good, because, we didn't know where the hell she was, right?
Well, I mean, she's probably using scrying magic. She was more
I
trained.
look up in the sky, and I flip her off.
Luster does the same thing.
I love this luster hate for my sister. It's so funny. All right. She'll just kind of shake her head. She was more trained, somewhat more like what Leaf can do, more in the druidic arts. More time, more talented in that than I am. But
Yeah. Well, Leaf's probably a better druid than her, so.
we'll see. But I may have to use that spell again. It seems to be the only way she'll talk to me. And she
Yep,
refused to
you
say much the
just-
first time, but
You let Dr. Sleep know.
Dr. Sleep. Good to know. Good to know. But yeah, I appreciate it.
So at about this time, you find yourself in front of the Cobalt Soul Library. It's a strange structure that has sort of just like a wide main walkway that goes from the streets up to the center of the original building and library. And as you get within, there is this cascading design of 2-story shelves of books that sort of emanate out into several spokes. In between each of these branching extensions of the main building, there are these beautiful, well-kept and crafted garden. The shrubberies and garden sculptures vary from animals to depictions of famous mythological creatures and characters. And as you enter in and kind of go up to the main desk, what is it that you're looking for today, Maeve? Or that you'd like to ask them to help you with, at least?
I guess. Oh, go ahead. Did you want to go first?
Just-
You want...
I tug on your shoulder. Can you ask them about books and stuff on the Feywild and the Queen Titania and my pops?
Oberon was his name?
Yep, Obi.
Okay. Obi.
Good old Obi.
Good old Obi. Okay. Sure. Do you want me to ask them? You don't want to ask yourself?
Man, I don't know. You have the connections here. Can I just ask? I don't know.
You can ask. It's okay. I mean, I'll ask for Niles, but you can ask for those books. You can just see what they're willing to give you.
Hey,
I believe in you.
hello?
Yep, you see that there's a blonde-haired, half-elven, younger girl, maybe about the same age as you are, sort of sitting behind the desk, and she's like, if you know what it is you're looking for, you can go on ahead. I can also direct you towards any subjects, or if you would like some sort of escort or help from any of our staff, I can get someone for you.
Is Niles Ostrin happen to be here?
Yeah, he is. Give me just a moment.
She nods and she'll just shrug. Well, I mean, if you might as well ask her, he might as well help you out with what you're looking for.
Her gaze kind of lingers on you for a moment, Maeve, as she kind of starts to walk away, and then she turns and leaves.
Oh,
Can I insight that?
Yeah, go for it.
Sure, I will too.
Both of you, yeah,
Like,
go ahead.
Fuck, what's that mean?
Oh, damn, that's an 8.
I rolled a 20.
You can tell that she seems to recognize you
no.
somehow.
Okay.
And about
no.
5 minutes
He is
later,
trying of you, Maeve.
she returns with a halfling in tow. He has brown hair that he tries to keep well groomed. Like, you can see there's an attempt there, but it seems to have a bit of a mind of its own. He has on these thick glasses and wears a dark cerulean bow tie with his Cobalt Soul Archivist robes. And despite his kind of shy and sometimes bumbling appearance, there is a genuine and kind smile. And as they come around the corner and he sees you, he looks up and goes, "It is her!" And almost breaks into a run coming up towards you. And once he gets a little bit closer, he kind of stops and, like, straightens himself. And he's like, Timavra, it's wonderful to have you, to see you again, back in the library in Port Damali. That's here. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to see you again. So much has happened. This is my friend Corey.
Corey, it's a pleasure to
Hi.
meet you. A fawn of Fey origins. Then, are you from the Feywild?
Yep, totally.
You can see his eyes like he literally just like a before he kind of catches himself. Well, then, if I'm sure you're probably very busy, but if you have time, I would love to ask you about your home in Maeve. I'd love to know more about the Pallid Grove if you have time to have another one of our sessions. And as he's starting to go through this, the half-elven girl who's sat back down is like, "So this is the Pallid Elf princess that you told us about?" And he's like, "She's not a princess.
I'm not a princess. What?
Yeah, she's
Sorry,
a queen.
I never
Queen.
told anyone that you were a princess either. I said that she is the daughter of a clan chief. That is much different."
So a princess.
Let's. What can I? Are you coming to visit, or were you?
So it's kind of an interesting turn of events. We've come here. Corey would actually like to read more about the Feywilds and specifically the Sealy Court, if I recall correctly.
Oh, well, I don't know that we have anything on our shelves that could tell you any more than what you know, living in the Feywild itself.
Yeah, totally. I just want to make sure things are up to date,
Oh.
just make sure, it's all accurate. Because it's
That
like,
makes sense.
sometimes you guys say we kidnap people, and sometimes we do, but not all the time.
Well, if you would like to share with me the delineation between what goes into and why you kidnap those from the prime material plane and why
Oh,
not.
absolutely. I would love to.
I just think
come
to Corey,
right this way, please.
for the love of God, do not do this to this man.
Corey is about to ruin education on the Fae for a generation.
Which, I don't know, feels like that's right up
I was
the
like,
Fae's
this is-
alley, so...
This is very Fae. I feel
Yeah.
like this is perfectly in line with something a Fae would do.
Yep.
But yes, if you wouldn't mind pointing her in the right direction, and I can give you some updates. I thank you for your assistance and pointing me to Rexentrum. That was helpful.
Yes, of course. I'd love to hear all about all the travels that you've had up until now. Please, right this way. And he leads you further in and takes you to a spot over near a section where he points out a bunch of different shelves that have all sorts of stuff on the Fae Quarry and gets you set up with like a small table nearby. If you'd like, I could go and grab a bunch of some of our better, some of the more accurate books and tomes and articles that you could take a look at and let us know how accurate they are. And I'll also go and grab some of my own stuff so that I could take notes and we could start. You could tell me about really wherever you want to start. You're the professional here, so I would love to know everything.
Oh, totally. Yeah. And just so you know, I do require first a deposit just because it's the
Corey.
knowledge and the skill that I have. Right. should
No,
be paid
yes,
for.
no, it's fine.
Yeah.
That makes complete sense. I can actually, we have a discretionary fund each that we can put towards, getting, I can take care of it. Don't worry, it doesn't even come out of my pocket. The Cobalt Soul pays for it. I will be right back. Give me 30 minutes to gather the necessary books, tomes, requirements. I'll be right back. Please go ahead and take a look around. Make yourself at home here.
Thank you, Niles. I
Thank
just looked
you.
at Corey. Don't you dare.
What?
He's a very nice man.
Yeah,
He
he's
doesn't
very
deserve this.
nice. I just want to educate where I can. Is that so bad?
Educated, you're tricking.
Yeah. Look, me.
Yeah,
I'm
she
doing that.
says.
I've been so good on the ship, okay? I caused very little ruckus, and I need to cause a ruckus. And if I don't do it now, it's gonna be violent ruckus.
If you want us to have a chance with the teleportation circle, we need to make nice.
Okay, fine. I'll ask for that instead of gold. You're right.
I don't even. Okay. All right. You know what? Sure. Why not?
All right. We're going to go ahead and jump over to Leo and Leaf, who are heading to Fernando and Matthew's
Menagerie of marvelous marvels and
That's
brewery.
the one. Thank you.
Wow.
So as you enter, it's a bit of a different... You've been in a few different magical and arcane shops, as is. This one is the most spacious. It doesn't necessarily have anything that's any more impressive than, say, the Invulnerable Vagrant in Zadash, but it's definitely like a bit more spread out. Like, you'll go into some like high-end places and everything will just have like its own little area all by itself, kind of set up on little like podiums and stuff like that. Armors are on full mannequins. You have swords that are displayed like by themselves, like full 360 view around it. And off to the far left when you walk in is a pearl bar with marble seats that you can sit on. There's only about 4 seats, and you see that there's a human behind there who's currently like rubbing down a glass. There's nobody sitting there. With taps behind him. And then further in, who notices you enter is another human who kind of waves you and goes, welcome to Fernando. I'm Fernando. And Matthew's marvelous menagerie of marvelous marvels. And Fernando goes, you're getting it wrong. It's worked here for like 3 years. It's a mouthful, okay? Welcome. What can we help you find today?
Well, I'm in the market for like a cart that I can stow away because I'm getting tired of buying a cart every time I come into a new town.
I see. And you watch as his eyes kind of light up a bit, and he goes, I told you, the models would eventually find a buyer. Just a cart? Are you also interested in a boat? We have dogs and sleds as well.
I already own a boat, and I don't really... That's gonna probably be really expensive.
That it is, and you watch as he goes and produces from underneath the counter. He pulls up 3 bottles that he sets down on their sides, and you can see in one is like a model galleon. In another, there is a cart with 2 horses, and then the other one is like a sled dog, and like it was like a sled and like a team of like sled dogs. And he goes, these are all prototypes, first of their kind, but when you know the magic word, you can summon them forth from the bottle, and voila. For 24 hours, they are yours to command. At which point, they return to the bottle, and then there's a day cooldown time, we'll call it. But for the low steal of a price of 8,000 gold each, they can be yours.
Wait,
Also,
they all cost the same?
Well, it went into similar enchantments went into each of them. I really just had to make a model and then put the enchantments into it. But it's a steal for the cart and horses because those horses aren't real. They are arcane constructs, and therefore you don't have to worry about feeding them. So think about that. You never have to worry about buying apples again, or grass, or whatever horses eat.
Much without the mechanical constructs, because we already have horses.
The same. I can't really remove them. It's part of the model within the bottle. But you could sell the horses that you have now and maybe make a little bit back.
It's not going to make up 7,000 gold.
Probably not. No.
7,000. What is the rarity on this?
Yes.
Technically, this would be rare, which actually, you're right. It might be more expensive than that. Let me check.
Rare is 5,000 gold, I believe. Or 3,000.
Like,
Rare is 4,000. Yep.
Right in the middle of what I was thinking.
So I said 4.
He's got to make a profit though, and they are prototypes.
Well, that's a little bit out of our price range, Leaf, right now, unless we can swindle some rich people out of their life
Do you need some
savings.
gold?
You could buy a cart in the next 1,000 towns we go to for that cost.
Yeah. It's like, I can actually just buy a cart. What other weird shit do you need, Leaf? Like, do you need any components for your spells? Or, you know what? Since you went all to the trouble, how much for a couple kegs of your beer?
Oh, you will have to go and talk to Fernando about that.
Yeah, let's go do that. I am so sorry to
No,
make you
that's
pull
fine.
all this out for... I
Just,
thought it was going to be
a
couple
magic
thousand,
shop
maybe.
and a brewery, and the brewery is a recent addition, but apparently that's somehow more popular than the magic stuff is. But no, please go try Fernando's Brews.
Maybe try a going out of business sale.
We're not going
some
out
of the
of
magic.
business though. Business is just fine. Thank you very much.
You
And I
actually don't
just-
have to go out of business to have a going out of business sale. It just makes people feel like they have to buy now. It's a marketing tag. Anyway.
So you head on over to Fernando, who puts down 2 cups, or puts down one, then goes to set down a second one and kind of looks at Leaf and gives you this look like, do you drink?
It's racist.
You want a beer?
He doesn't have a mouth.
Ale? I've seen him put things in
Mouth fist?
himself.
He shrugs and puts it down as well. Well, if you're looking to buy a whole cask, I assume you're probably going to want to try a bit of a sampler.
Sure.
And he goes ahead and sets up a sample of like 6 different types for you and puts them all in front of you. And, standard like craft beer affair. And also reminds you, by the way, just so you know, the beer isn't magical.
Oh, I figured. I
Aw.
thought it was just going to be
No,
regular shit.
we just needed a way to get, more people in the door. And wouldn't you know, beer works. I wanted
Have
to
you
call this...
considered magical beer?
What would it do? You hear Matthew yell, it would be too expensive and a liability. No.
Taste
There's your
really
answer.
good?
How would it be a liability?
It already tastes really good. I don't know. I guess depending on what it does, magic can affect people differently or something.
Maybe
he's a bit of a spoil. He's a bit of a spoil sport sometime. I wanted to call it Abyssal Brews, but he thought it gave the wrong kind of attention.
That's a little bit easier to catch on than Marvelous
Right?
Marvels.
It's
and
great. I actually came up with that name too.
I'm glad you reworked it in your own little way, though.
So trying the different beers, they're all pretty delicious. So whatever it is that you'd want to get, they have, IPAs, they have darker stuff, lighter stuff. They have a cider as well.
Probably pick up the cider because I'm more of a sweet drinker anyway. So
So as you're kind of ordering some of the barrels, you hear from Matthew, you're going to need a cart to haul that around.
true, but I got a boat.
Yeah, a
And
boat
I'm gonna
that's
put it on
leaving
a
in 2
boat.
days. But
Well,
easy
I'm
enough.
gonna put.
Yeah, you can definitely order a couple barrels. How many barrels do you order?
I'll order 3, 2 for the ship and 1 for a cart if we take it.
One
If
for
we-
the cart we're inevitably going to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if we
we'll
don't take
say-
it, it'll just be all on the boat.
Yep, that with delivery, 50 gold.
Dope.
Thanks to
No.
Leo, the second chances have never been short of booze even once.
Yeah. This
It
is
helps.
this definitely gets delivered, and Winston's like, but I'm the one with the drinking problem.
Yeah. No, the best part's going to be when Roz gets back and thinks that Winston ordered and this is getting out of hand.
Winston's like, I don't drink ciders.
Yeah, that's what he'd complain about.
Yep.
As he's, getting a new flask of the cider.
Well, I mean, he's got to try it at the very least. You can't, like, dunk on something if you don't give it a
Can't
try.
let it go to waste.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, yeah,
exactly.
you got to try it. And really, you got to try it. You got to get drunk on it at least once to really know.
That's how you really get to know a beer and yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Yep. Was there anything else that either of you wanted to look for while you were here?
Do you need anything, Leaf?
No, this one is fine.
All right. We'll say that you also go and get some horses ready for to be able to be picked up the following day. 20 gold, because I don't think you need that many horses. And then we'll jump back over to Rosalind and Hermia as they head for Avandra's temple.
I hope your temple is more cheerful and not as I wouldn't say it was depressing. It was just more wow, I feel like all this knowledge and stuff's being suddenly thrust upon me and I don't know what to do with it. I need something a little bit more chill.
Really didn't think they had temples to Avandra. It's interesting.
So, located in the Crescent district of Port Damali, the Pearl Shrine is one of the few major temples dedicated to the worship of Avandra. As you approach, the shrine itself almost looks as though it's like a massive pearl in the center of Damali. You see these 30 to 40 foot tall walls of pearl-colored make, like shards of a shell that rise into the air and kind of curve inwards towards the temple. But as you pass by these walls, you enter into this gorgeous courtyard that leads inwards and towards an open shrine. Shrine itself is this large open building built much like a kind of gazebos. There's no walls to it. The roof is held up by a series of pillars on the outside that sort of spill through into the inside. And at the center, you see a statue of the Changebringer, depicted as a dark-skinned young woman with silver hair that drapes all around her to the ground and sort of blends into the walkways of the temple.
What, are there any people here?
Yeah, there's a few people here. Some of them are kind of out in the gardens, sitting around, reading. There's just sort of little sort of pockets of people here and there, and you kind of get the sense that this is treated in a way kind of just like an open public gardens. The pathways, the temple kind of sits at a sort of nexus in the midst of the Crescent district, and there are people who are even just kind of walking and passing through. Some of them kind of stop you. You notice kind of say a small prayer or whatnot. But yeah, it's definitely not like anything that I think you have ever witnessed in terms of a place of worship.
Yeah.
Whether Roz thinks that's, cool and apt for the Changebringer or not is up to you.
Okay. I think she's frowning a little bit, actually, as she's looking at this. Not that she knew what to expect, but,
Oh, what's up?
I don't know. I guess when I thought of a temple to Avandra, the last thing I imagined was opulence. You know what I mean?
I suppose. What did you imagine?
I mean, I don't know. My way of worshiping her was to set up a shrine where people could take medicine and food when they needed it. Guess I kind of imagined something that was there to help people.
Do you not think this brings any help or benefit to people? You hear a voice from behind you and turn to see this little elderly gnome, balding on the top, kind of has like just like this like crown of like graying hair around his head. He's got a little like walking cane, and not poor, but definitely seems to stick out a bit amongst the beauty of this district.
I can't really say. I don't know what the people of this city need.
Well, setting up a shrine, offer medicine and stuff, that kind of points his cane towards you. Sounds like a good one. I feel like she'd like that. But the Pearl Shrine here offers different things for different folks, I suppose. I can tell you this, unlike that eyesore of a sun sanctuary, and he kind of sneers off in the direction of the Temple of Palor. I've never been required to provide an offering here. I don't get chased off by Zalezo or the Golden Drumhead Mercenary Company or whatever they call themselves for loitering. It's a peaceful place to get away from some of the riffraff. And sometimes people just need a place to think, be inspired.
I see. And what inspiration do you find here?
He kind of just looks around. Everybody's always going someplace here. The young, the old. I don't know that I got many miles left on me. These little short, stubby things, and he kind of kicks one of his legs up. But, coming here, it makes me think that, who knows? Maybe got one more journey in me somewhere or another. But, I'll come here at least once a day just to see who I meet. My name is Wilkins, by the way, and he puts out a little hand. He's missing two fingers. His thumb and his pinky are gone.
She reaches down, shakes hand. Rosalind, and this is Hermia.
Hi.
Can't help but notice you're pretty decked out in gear there compared to most of the people that come through here.
We have been traveling for many months now.
Know how to use those? And he kind of does like a little like shadow boxing type thing. And
she nods. Yes. We became champions of the fighting circle, and Nicodranus, and we
champions.
Fought in the tournament in Zadash. We faced down
two-time champions then?
Yeah.
Not bad.
We faced down fiends of another plane in Bisetile, and
all right, now you're just pulling my leg. There's not a lot to pull on there.
She chuckles. Well, it has been quite a journey over the last. Good Lord, how long have we been here? 3 months now, almost.
All that in only 3 months?
Yeah, it feels like a lot longer. It feels almost like a year and a half when you really think about it.
There, you see?
What?
Do I see what?
Well, I got my worth out of the Pearl Shrine today, and you made an offering.
Did?
Yeah. I don't get out to do as much adventuring as I used to. There's the trap I didn't quite disarm fast enough that saw to that, and he holds his hand up.
Oh. Ouch.
You don't know the half of it.
She nods. Well, and then she recites, "Rise up against tyranny, fight for the freedom of yourself and others when you can, and inspire others when you cannot."
He nods slowly. If the opulence of it all is what bothers you, remember that she didn't build it. People build it to honor them because they think that's what they want.
Yeah. where I come from, people worship gods and goddesses as people. They worship them as beings to be doted upon and begged favors from. I hated that growing up. So when I came here and heard her message, that's what I fell in love with. I could care less about Avandra the person, but her message means a lot to me.
We all take solace and inspiration from them in different ways. That's the beauty of it.
Yes. Now, as I say, far be it for me to criticize how others worship.
Well, it was
She bows her head politely.
nice meeting the two of you. Hopefully it's not the last time. But it might be. I'm getting up there. Anyway. Enjoy the rest of your visit, champs. He starts to hobble off.
Mm-hmm. Roz glances at Hermia. I think I'm okay to leave.
Okay. So isn't as foreboding as the other temple?
Yes. Well, like I say, I don't know if I know what I expected to find here.
Kind of same here.
All right.
What I need from her, I think I've found with all of you.
Hermia smiles.
All right. And as the two of you leave, that's where we will go ahead and wrap up tonight.